go in there with your paperwork, you sit down, and you just start doing paperwork. And usually I have a videotape sitting on top of it, just for measure, so they think I have a videotape. And you just sit there. Don't tell them Miranda. Just sit there and wait for them to start talking, because they will.
Google is the most powerful search engine on Earth. Today, billions of users Google for any kind of information. A former student's project now rules the World Wide Web. In 1997, Larry Page and Sergey Brin developed the so-called PageRank, a complex mathematical algorithm that ranks websites by their relevance. This groundbreaking invention profoundly transformed access to information. Google rapidly became the first choice for internet search, and this was just the beginning. Today, Google earns huge profits by dominating online advertising. It's well on the way to becoming the most valuable company on the global market. But is it just about money? These men pursue a great vision, the Google Master Plan. Any kind of information will be accessible to anybody, controlled by Google itself. With the credo, don't be evil. New features and products are constantly flying out of the Googleplex, all for free. Don't you worry about your privacy? The perfect blend of software and hardware, called Googleware, gives the company more computing power than anyone else. Google stores the entire known web in its giant database. And there's more. Gmail offers several gigabytes of free storage. It's no secret. All your mails, including received mails from your friends, are scanned. Google is methodically collecting personal data in many more ways, using cookies and account information, merely to offer relevant text ads. Google can create incredibly detailed dossiers on every one of us. A former CIA agent claims that Google is cooperating undercover with the US government, including the CIA. Though appearing to simply want the best for its users, Google has already begun to expand its online domination. Total control, and not merely on the web. Google is conducting research in the fields of molecular biology and genetics. What if Google had a file on you, even including your entire genetic data? Every human being would become completely transparent. What do you think? Does Google really worry about our privacy?
Videotapes are wonderful things. I use a tape recorder. How many of you think if you saw a tape recorder that would make you not want to talk? Yeah. They talk, and this is how I do it. I bring the tape recorder and say, look, I'm going to use this recorder because my writing's terrible. I can't read it if I write it down, so I'm going to use this. Is that all right with you? Don't have to ask them that. Is that all right? Yeah, no problem. So I turn it on. And they watch the tape recorder. And if I have a problem with the interview, I'll say, I want to talk to you for a second, just off the record. Everyone here off the record? It's like a unicorn. No such thing. I pick up the tape recorder. If I borrow this, I pick up the tape recorder and I go click and turn it off and set it right in front of them. And they look at the tape to make sure it's not turning. Interview rooms have microphones in them and video cameras, and everything that happens in there is recorded. My tape means nothing because I'm recording it anyways. And then I start talking to them quietly, and they start telling me stuff. And they do something like that, except it's crying. It's more crying. So that's another way. So you see how there's an unlevel playing field here. Even with the most educated individual, there's an unlevel playing field. If you talk to the police, everything's going to be written down. If you get pulled over for a ticket, they give you the ticket, and you pull off. You ever see the cop pull off right after you? Usually not. That's because on the back of their ticket, they're writing down everything you said. And it's going to come into court if you go to court. Everything that's said, I write down. Every phone call I make has to have a listening device on it. Is that illegal? How many parties need to know that a phone conversation in Virginia is being recorded? One. Me. I knew it was recorded. I get many, many confessions over the phone.
Do you have a Facebook? Have you thought about the privacy you put at risk? The Facebook allows users to post their favorite music, books, movies, their address, hometown, phone number, email, clubs, jobs, educational history, birth dates, sexual orientation, interests, daily schedules, exactly how they are related to friends, upload pictures of themselves, and even political affiliations. Excel's manager, James Breyer, was former chair of the National Venture Capital Association. Breyer served on National Venture Capital Association's board with Gilman Louie, CEO of In-Q-Tel, a venture capital firm established by the Central Intelligence Agency in 1999. This firm works in various aspects of information technology and intelligence, including most notably nurturing data mining technologies. Breyer has also served on the board of BBN Technologies, a research and development firm known for spearheading the ARPANET, or what we know today as the Internet. In October of 2004, Dr. Anita Jones climbed on board BBN along with Gilman Louie. But what is most interesting is Dr. Jones' experience prior to joining BBN. Jones herself served on the board of directors for In-Q-Tel and was previously the Director of Defense Research and Engineering for the U.S. Department of Defense. Her responsibilities included serving as an advisor to the Secretary of Defense and overseeing the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. This goes farther than just the initial appearances. DARPA shot to national fame in 2002 when knowledge of the existence of the Information Awareness Office came to light. The IAO stated its mission was to gather as much information as possible about everyone in a centralized location for easy perusal by the United States government, including though not limited to Internet activity, credit card purchase history, airline ticket purchases, car rentals, medical records, educational transcripts, driver's licenses, utility bills, tax returns, and any other available data. All of the above raises more questions than answers. Perhaps if the Facebook wishes to stay ethically sane, it should enact a policy. What happens in the Facebook stays in the Facebook.
My name is Richard Mack, and I'm the former sheriff of Graham County, Arizona. And I've been fighting and standing for freedom the last 20 years of my life, and admonishing and hoping that peace officers and sheriffs across this country would keep their oath of office and adhere to their oath of office. And today we had a wonderful rally over at Lexington Green, where the first shot was heard around the world that started the path towards the Revolutionary War. And the Oath Keepers decided to meet there, and they asked me to be there. And the relationship between me and Oath Keepers is really an automatic one. It was a very easy one, because I've been preaching about the oath of office for years and years, about 2 decades now, and their message is the same. If you're in the military, and if you're in law enforcement, and especially if you're one of our nation's sheriffs, you took an oath of office to uphold and defend, preserve, protect, and obey the United States Constitution. If we had law enforcement in America that were doing that, keeping their oath to do just that, we would have our constitutional republic back tomorrow. That's how powerful this movement is. The Founding Fathers established a system that would keep the federal government impotent. This is the time to reenact that. The 10th Amendment basically tells the federal government, if you ever go outside Article 1, Section 8, where the Constitution delineates and details what they can and cannot do, if they want to get creative, or if they want to expand the federal bureaucracy, or if they want to expand the power of the central government, they must refer to the 10th Amendment, which clearly states, if we forgot anything, you can't do that either. And so the 10th Amendment keeps the federal government in check, because the states have the power to tell the federal government to stay out. And then, of course, that's going to just scare governors and state legislatures to death, because they might stop federal funding. What are you guys, crazy? Where do you think the federal government gets their money? It comes from you. Stop sending them the money, and they won't have anything over you anymore.